it's Tracy. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys have a great weekend planned or in store or whatever it is you're doing. I hope you're having fun. So today, I'm here and Mister's on the side here, trying to get in. Okay, come on. You can say hi. Come on. Kiss. Okay, he's playing camera shy. He'll probably pop up here in a minute or so. But this week I was testing out the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation. So if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I hope you take a second to subscribe so that I can see you here next time. And if you don't want to miss any future videos, click the notification bell and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. So, to the foundation. I got mine in F10 and I picked mine up at Ulta, and it's $9, and when I bought it last week it was on sale, buy one get one 50% off, and then for the 50% off item I picked up the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define concealer. So let me go to, I'm actually reading off of the Tam Beauty website, which is Revolution Beauty USA. They've kind of rebranded, and they're no longer going to have, I guess, all of the different I Heart Makeup, Freedom Makeup. I think they're all going to just be Revolution Pro, is my understanding, but I could be wrong. Who knows? So let's see, on the Revolution Beauty USA website, it says foundation just got faster, launching in 18 shades in a range of undertones. Fast base foundation quickly perfects contours and highlights your complexion. This easy to apply stick formula melts into the skin, blending seamlessly to leave a fresh and dewy finish. Twist up, swipe, and blend out with your fingers, a beauty sponge, or your favorite foundation brush. So the way they have their color ranges, they have 18 shades, and it starts with F1, which is for fair skin tones with neutral undertone, and then it goes all the way to F18 for dark skin tones with warm undertones. And I got mine in F10, which is for medium skin tones with a golden undertone. And it actually ended up matching me pretty well. When I was in the store and bought this, they did not have any sort of thing that told you, okay, this color is this and this is the undertone. They didn't have anything, so you're just left sitting here looking at, okay, F10. What is that like? I didn't, I'm like thinking, well, what does that tell me? F10. It has the color kind of sort of here, but that doesn't really tell you anything. So they did thankfully have testers, so I was able to just swipe it on my hand. I didn't get it anywhere near my face, but I swiped a couple of the different colors and then I kind of let them sit to see what they would do with my skin. And this one to me was the closest match, and it did end up working out really well for me. So it's a roll-up foundation. Actually, you get quite a bit of product because I've used this all week for 7 days, and that still has that much left, and it was only $9, plus the buy one get one 50% off. So the finish is fresh and dewy, and I, of course, have it on today, and I like the finish of it. It does require a powder because it stays tacky on the skin, so I very lightly with a beauty blender kind of just put it mostly in where I'm going to be using other powder products on top so that it'll, flow good. So I'm going to insert the clip now of the wear test that I did, and then I'll be right back. Hi guys, it's the first check-in for the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Makeup Stick. So this is what it looks like. It's been on, I forgot I was going to do my check-ins today, so it's been on since about 11:30, but my phone says 12:16, so we'll call the check-in 12 o'clock just to be rounded off. So this is what it looks like. The color match is really good. and it doesn't settle into my lines, and it just looks really nice. So Mister's here. Did you want to say hello? Come on. So yeah, this is what it looks like. It's looking good. If you're wondering what's on my eyes, I have the Weekend Festival by BH Cosmetics, and then I have the Milani Hypnotic Lights Liquid Glitter. And yeah. And I have on my lips a ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip. So that's going to do it. I will be back in a few hours to do another check-in, and we'll see how it's wearing. Okay. Hi guys, it is me, and it's a little bit late. It was 4:25 p.m. I was out, so my phone has been buzzing me. So it is a little bit later than 4 o'clock, but that's okay. So how does the makeup look? It still looks good. It has rubbed off a little bit around my nose, and other than that, I mean, all my makeup is still on. Highlight, blush, bronzer. Still looks really nice. It just looks natural. I mean, it's not full coverage. I tried to kind of build it up on the cheeks, but you can't really build it up too much. So it's just kind of a medium coverage, but I really like it. And I think it looks good. This color match was good for me. So that's how it's looking. I'll be back in another 4 hours with the check-in. Hi guys. This is going to be my final check-in. It is now 8 p.m. and I've had this makeup on for over 8 hours. And overall, I think it held up really well. It didn't settle into my forehead lines, and it held on to my blush. Looks like it's not as much there as it was, and I'm kind of red around my nose and my lip here, but my allergies have just gone like crazy. So I've been, you know, blowing my nose and itching my nose probably, but I mean, it really held up well. I think it looks really good, and this is one I would definitely keep and wear again and buy again. So I'm going to continue trying it throughout the week, and I will give you my final results. Back to the video. Okay, I hope you guys were all able to see that fine. The wear test, you can see what it looked like. I tried to get close up, but I'm using my iPad to film, and I have the iPhone X, which has, I think, a better camera, but you can't zoom in with it unless you use the rear facing camera, in which case you can't see what you're filming. So I'm going to try to set up some sort of a thing where I can see through a mirror behind it so that I can zoom in and you can see better, because I know that the camera on the phone is really good. So I'm working on trying to set that up and get that right. So let's see. I really liked it. It looked really skin-like is a good way that I would describe it, and it's really smooth, and it's said, I told you it doesn't set down, so you do need a little bit of powder, but it, you know, you can still see kind of a little bit of glowy, which is nice, and it doesn't settle into my lines on my forehead or my smile lines, and it just has a really nice kind of fresh look to it. It's fresh and, you know, skin-like. So I really did like it, and I was surprised at how much I did like it, because the only other stick foundation that I've tried was the Maybelline one, but it was for oily skin. So I tried that and I hated that right away. So this, from the first day, I was like, ooh, this is pretty nice. And I had a few days where I had it on for over 12 hours because I had gotten ready early in the day, and then we left to go out of town. We went towards Los Angeles, and we met up with my stepdaughter and her boyfriend, and they were leaving to go back to North Carolina. So we were out in, where was it, Claremont, Montclair, somewhere like that, which is like an hour away, and we were gone a lot later than I had anticipated. And had I thought about it, I would have definitely filmed that as the wear test, because it looked so good. When I got home, it was like after midnight. we had been to dinner, drinks, like all that good stuff, and it still looked good. Like it of course it like faded, you know, it wore off a little around my nose. My allergies have been going bazonkers. So, you know, just the normal stuff, but I mean, it still looked pretty darn good for that many hours. So I was really impressed by it. It you know, faded over the course of the day. I didn't notice that it transferred to anything. And like I said, it wore for a really long time. And even my lip, where I've had the dryness, I've been exfoliating like my lip a ton just before I put any kind of foundation so that it doesn't cling. And this one, it looks really good. It doesn't, let me look again. Yeah, it's not clinging, and it's just really nice and kind of glowy, but not too glowy. So I used it with, you know, all of my different primers. I used the Smashbox Photo Finish primer, the original one. I used just the original Wet n Wild primer. I used the Wet n Wild primer spray. I used the Physicians Formula Spotlight concealer primer. I used the Maybelline, and then I also used the new Cover FX blurring primer that we just got in this month's BoxyCharm, and I really liked that with it. It did really blur out my pores, and it worked well with all of the primers that I use. And it probably would work without even a primer at all, because it just, I don't know, I didn't think about that, but I think I will try that like without a primer and see what it does. But it just wore really good. The shade match was good. Now if you have oily skin, I'm not sure that you would like this, because you can see like my forehead, you know, it's kind of glowy, I guess, and I mean, I have highlighter on, but it just has a really nice finish. So if you were to use like, you know, like a mattifying primer, you might really like it. But I think it worked really good. I think for mature skin, it's really nice because it's kind of hydrating, but not too much. So yeah, I really liked it. It doesn't emphasize my pores. It didn't really settle into any fine lines. I'm looking at I know I keep looking down, I'm looking at all my notes from the week. And yeah, I just really liked it. I like the wear time. I just like how fresh it looks. Doesn't look heavy or cakey. Now, I did try to build it up, and this is like 2 layers, you know, where I have the most freckles. I tried to see if it would build on itself and if it would cover the freckles. Not that I'm trying to cover them, but this is like 2 layers, and it definitely, you know, doesn't cover anything. So if you had, you know, a lot of scarring or redness, I'm not sure how well you would get it to cover, because like I said, this is 2 layers, and you can still see all my freckles and everything. So I would consider this a light, maybe a medium finish coverage. If you were to try to build it up, you might, you know, I would consider it to be kind of medium. So I would give this an A. So this would get my stamp of approval, and I really liked it, and I will keep this one in my rotation. Now, as far as the concealer, I got this in C7, and I know that this comes in a ton of different colors. I didn't really look it up because I wasn't planning on, you know, like a review of this. Let's see how many shades. It says they've extended their best-selling concealer to 25 shades, so that's really good. 25 shades. Now, I also got this at Ulta, and they have a white one now, which is nice because you can use that to mix if you have something that's darker. And I might pick up the white one because I was thinking of trying a white base. That would be a good base for eyeshadow. So I'm gonna probably try to pick up one of those. And I got mine, let's see, C7. Let me see what that one tells you. This is the same kind of, you know, numbering or color shade selection. So this is C7, and this says it's for medium skin tone with peach undertones. So that ended up working good for me. I'm a neutral undertone, so I can pretty much wear, you know, anything that's, you know, warm or cool. So they did have testers at my store, and they were kind of all yuck, you know, people are messy. And I kind of dabbed just little dots on my hand to see, and then I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to pick this one. If it works, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. So this actually was a good color match. I have this on again today, and it's okay. That's my opinion. It's just okay. Like, it seemed like it was kind of dry under my eyes, and you could kind of see the lines and everything. So this isn't one that I would like continue or repurchase probably. I would, you know, just use it for whatever, maybe primer or whatever on my eyes. I mean, I will probably use it, but I really am stuck with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. That's just like my all-time favorite. That's the one that I go to like all the time because you don't need to set it, and it just looks good, and I just like that one. So this was just okay for me. I mean, if you're not old like me, 48, you know, I have aging lines, all that good stuff. So if you're, you know, like in your 20s, you're not going to have a problem at all. This is going to work really well. It is pretty full coverage. I've never tried the Shape Tape, so I don't know how this compares with that. I'm going to ask my daughter. She's coming over today. I'm going to have to ask her how this compares with Shape Tape, because she uses the Shape Tape. And she's kind of like a brand snob. She does, like, I tell her, hey, try this. This is supposed to be a dupe for that. And she doesn't want to do it. So I'm like, whatever. I try to save you money, but whatever. So I'll ask her to like test it out or try it out and see what she thinks about it. And I will let you guys know in my follow-up video of all of the new makeup I've been testing out. And today on my eyes, if you're wondering, I have the Hypnotic lights in number 3, and this is called Beaming Light. That's what the purple iridescence is. And my favorite way to put this on is just with a flat shader brush, and then I just place it wherever I want it. And it's just, I like these. These are really nice. So this is what I have on, and then I picked up this Magnif'eyes Spice Edition. This is from Rimmel, and I used a little bit of that in the outer and then under my eyes. So I use this. It's pretty nice. This was on sale for, I want to say $7.99 at Walgreens, and then they had buy one get one 50% off. So this was like $4. No, this was $8. And then I picked up the foundation that we'll be testing out this next week, which is the Lasting Finish 25-Hour Breathable Foundation. We'll be trying this one out for this following week. So this was $8, and then this was $6.99, so I got this for $3.50. And then if you look in the books at the front of the store, the little coupon booklets, there's a $1 off coupon. So you get $1 off of this and $1 off of this. So that made this $7 and this $2.50. And then I had some coupons that I had printed that I didn't use yet, which were $3 off of each. So I ended up paying $5.45 for both of these. So awesome deal. But yeah, that's what we're going to try this next week. This is in the shade, what does it say? 203 True Beige. So we'll give this a shot. And then I also have the new Milani blushes on today. And yeah, that's it. So that's what's on my face. That's what we're going to test out next week. And those are my thoughts on the foundation stick. I really liked it, and I will use it again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave so that you won't miss out on any future videos. So that's going to do it for me. I'm going to sign off. Mister's on the bed over here, just being lazy. So he says goodbye, and we will catch you in our next video. Bye.